2026 is barely 2 months old, and yet even in these few weeks, Europe has already been caught off guard several times. First, we were helpless bystanders during Donald Trump's attack on Venezuela. Then we were caught off guard by America's threats to annex Greenland. At the same time, we continue to be kept out of the loop during the so-called peace negotiations between Russia, Ukraine and the US. And now in Iran, we appear once again to be without leverage as Trump's war continues to escalate across the region. Colleagues, these conflicts are directly affecting the prosperity and the safety of our citizens. So why has Europe, the world's second largest economy, not been able to bring its weight to bear here? Why are decisions being made about Europe without Europe? Part of the answer is our own cumbersome decision-making process and the autocracy that is abused by people like Viktor Orban that I can only hope will come to an end soon. But I fear that there's also a deeper, a more structural reason. Namely that whether we like it or not, we now live in a world where our ability to deter our enemies, to defend ourselves, and to back up our ambitions with capabilities matter. But it is precisely in this domain of hard power that Europe continues to punch below its weight. And why? Not because we don't have the potential. We have the economic muscles, we have the engineers, we have the ideas. But when it comes to defence, we have for too long forgone the power of European integration. We have kept it out of the single market, and we have instead allowed for fragmentation, for weakness, and for dependency. And today we are paying the price for this. We are paying the price politically, when we are not at the negotiating table but on the menu. We are paying the price militarily, when it's not just Ukraine but our own soldiers who are waiting for equipment that arrives too little and too late. And we are paying the price financially, when we are paying up to 30% too high prices at times when families in Europe are struggling to make ends meet. Colleagues, this is unacceptable, and it is unworthy of our great continent. Europe deserves better. And that is exactly what this initiative report seeks to deliver. It presents a coherent and ambitious roadmap towards a genuine European single market of defence. And it does so in 5 very concrete steps. First, we commit to making the bi-European approach the new standard in defence procurement. Because European taxpayer money should primarily strengthen European industry, create European jobs, and build European capabilities. Second, we call for a thorough revision of the procurement directive. We want to tailor it to today's defence realities and rapid innovation cycles, because our rules must enable and not hinder joint projects and technological leadership. Third, we need mutual recognition of certifications and security clearance, as well as finally the removal of all other necessary barriers to inter-EU transfers. Because, colleagues, it's simply absurd if a civilian lorry can easily cross borders, but the same lorry painted in camouflage and used by our troops cannot. And fourth, we propose a dedicated joint funding device for innovative technologies, because Europe's best ideas need to be able to scale up and to deliver real capabilities, but they need to be able to do so without making themselves dependent on non-European investors. And fifth and finally, we call for a comprehensive EU-NATO cooperation agreement, one that allows common norms and NATO standards to be effectively integrated and, yes, enforced by EU law. Because honestly, what's even the point of having common standards if we cannot properly enforce them? If several European countries proudly coordinate to make sure they are sending the same sort of tanks or artillery to Ukraine, only then to notice that one country's model often cannot even properly use the ammunition of another country's system of the same type. Colleagues, fragmentation is inefficient. It is expensive. But on today's battlefield, we see that can even be deadly. Colleagues, this is exactly why this initiative report and a genuine European common market of defence are so urgently needed today. And our objective here is simple: to build a competitive European defence ecosystem where every euro invested delivers maximum innovation, maximum security and maximum value for money. Colleagues, in this new world order of great power politics, Europe has a choice. We can cling to old habits, keep out defence of the single market, remain fragmented and continue to pay more for less while others shape our future. Or we can act, recognise our strengths, unleash the power of the single market, and turn Europe's economic power into real security and strategic autonomy. For that, we need a single market of defence, and we need it now. Thank you.